Hi, and welcome to the Always an Escrow podcast. I am Colby Burchin, along with my co-host, Serena Appel. Hello, Serena.
Hello, Colby, and hello to our fantastic community and audience.
So we're doing a little segment because we want to thank you, our audience, for tuning in every week. We had a very, very special year, and we just want to give back and say happy holidays to you. And we are so excited, just a year in review, just to talk about some of our favorite moments.
Well, we certainly had some favorite moments that inspired us, moments that drove us to go shopping, inspired us to throw parties, and so much more. And let's not forget Always in Escrow, which is getting right back to the root of the show, real estate. So, we talked about Lux Living, we talked about residential real estate. So, Colby, let's get right into it. I want to kick it off with highlighting Bordery.
I'm sure our audience would be curious, what happens in the hours after the Shark Tank episode aired?
So yeah, that was crazy. So we actually had a huge Shark Tank party at our production kitchen. We had about 300 people here. We had a huge screen, and they call you about a few weeks before it's going to air. They let you know. So we were prepared, and it was insane after that. So it aired at the perfect time for us, actually, November, the end of November, right before Thanksgiving, which tons of people ordered for Thanksgiving and then for Christmas. And, we were doing about $1 million in sales a week just on our website after Shark Tank. So yeah, it was exceptional. And we feel very fortunate to have had our episode aired at that time.
Rachel Solomon, the founder of Bordery, fantastic. We love what they're doing. Delicious boards. And we had a great chat with her. Reflecting on their experience on Shark Tank. What a great episode that was.
She's so smart. And I will tell you, I have ordered from them to several of my clients, and every one of my clients have told me, I've received it also, so I know, the packaging is superior. The food quality is incredible. So she really knows what she's doing. So if anyone is looking for a holiday gift, I will highly recommend Bordery.
There it is. Okay, so getting into real estate and interior design, I just want to highlight Julie Smith of Julical Design.
Are there any trends from years past that are coming back?
You've lived through a design cycle, right? Where everyone's like, wow, I cannot believe that person is still wearing Doc Martens. And all of a sudden your kids are saying, can I have some Doc Martens? You're like, oh my gosh. And pleated from pants and stuff like that. But just like that, when it comes back again, it reinvents itself, right? And I'm really spending a good amount of time now sourcing exotic woods. So we've seen burls. Burl was huge in the 70s. And then everyone was like, oh, burl, get it out. And now I'm bringing burl. Well, not just me. We are bringing some of these cool retro burls back, but they have been reinvented. So I think you're going to see a departure from that stark rift white oak that everyone sees now in the light finish to more moodier woods.
She's incredible. Her vision, she has that eye for design, and you could see it if you follow her on Instagram. She just knows placement, and definitely inspired me. And I love interior design.
I love her use of textiles and also just kind of shapes and the materials that she's sourcing. She took her audience on Instagram on a trip to Italy to, I believe, a marble quarry. So that was quite interesting. So yes, Julical Design, we definitely have our hats off to you.
Why don't we talk about Rochelle LaCavaliere at Alina? The Alina project in downtown Boca.
Okay, so why is Alina's location superior to other new developments in the area?
I joke about this a lot. If you'll ever hear me talking to anyone, it's like, what's walkability, right? Like 10 years ago, I'm pretty sure it's not a word, but now it is a word because everyone is saying it, right? I never heard anyone say, you know what I really want? I want walkability. So now we're hearing it on the tips of everyone's tongue. So people are accustomed to coming from large urban places like Manhattan, Chicago, where they can leave their place, walk to dinner, walk to boutiques, walk to fitness. We're only a mile from the beach, but we're walkable to absolutely everything. So our location is very special because of walkability. And I just find people who love it here really love it here.
It's true. It really is true.
If you haven't seen it, it is beyond anything that you can comprehend, because the scene in downtown Boca now is high-rise living. It's almost like a little Manhattan where you can walk out, get your little coffee, get your nails done, get your hair done. You can walk to the park, you can walk to the beach. But Alina's project is sophisticated, it's upscale, gated, and their project is coming to a close. I mean, they will be opening the 2 new buildings probably by October 2024, and they're almost completely sold out. For a builder to do that in this kind of market, hats off to you. Great job, guys.
So now segueing to florals and Rachel Clark.
What are some tips for choosing the right flowers for an event?
Okay, so that has definitely been a trial and error. I will tell you that I've messed that up before. It's like, like I said, like I've learned everything through experience. I guess to understand like what flowers to pick is obviously like what the brand vision is, what they're looking for, the vibe, whether it's more classic, modern, whimsical. And then also just like the longevity of them. So if it's outdoors in the sun, you're not going to pick a super delicate flower. You're going to pick a flower that's more hardy, that has the potential to last longer. When it's, an installation, you have to make sure the flowers are going to be able to last outside of water if there needs to be a water source. There's so many things that go into it, and you're dealing with, a variable nature that you can't always control. And sometimes you don't know, like, you get a bad flower and it's going to die. Like, you can't control it. And at the same time, you just kind of have to be as equipped as possible for plan B.
Rachel Clark Designs is just above and beyond they go above and beyond with their floral displays for corporate events, for private events, gorgeous concepts. And also Rachel Clark takes her audience on Instagram on a tour of the world when she travels, and also to the different floral markets that she hits up for her different projects.
She's such a beautiful soul, that one. Rachel really, she sees it and just designs it with flowers. And you see that in her work. Some people can call themselves, a flower maker, a florist. She takes it to another level. And I love that about her.
Okay. So this one wins the award for the guest interview from the most exotic destination. And the drum roll is Patrizia Shelabarger of Patty Pilot Eyewear. She came to us from an ashram in Italy. She took the time out of her meditations and joined our podcast.
What inspired you to become an eyeglass designer and a creative trendsetter?
So before to be an eyewear designer, I was very famous in the fashion world with my brand called Patty Shelabarger. So in that time, let's say it's 20 years ago, I was working with all the celebrities. I was making chairs for Madonna House in New York, and I was dressing a lot of celebrities and creating colors when the world was completely black. So, and then after I sold my brand and I get my baby, and 5 years later I start my eyewear collection because I was so tired to see everything same outside. Every store was looking so much similar. You know what? I need to create for the people that need eyewear to see. So this is why I start.
I love Patrizia. She is incredible. And, her eyewear designs are unique. There's so many choices, but she really she knows. Remember what she was talking about, the facial, size, and she really gets into the details of a person's face.
Yes. And, Italian based. She has a eyeglass store and then also has incredible celebrity following. Well, please introduce the next person, Andrea Virgin, the Center for Arts and Innovation.
If you want to call yourself a world-class city, you need to have world-class infrastructure for culture, arts and culture. And the first thing they told us is you shouldn't build just another theater. If you build just another theater, you're going to be outdated before you open your doors. So the project pivoted from being strictly a let's build a venue that's beautiful to being a venue that can focus on the future, preserve the past, but focus on the future. We do have renderings. They give you an idea of scale. They give you an idea of flexibility because you can see some of the venues in different shapes and forms of what they can do and what kind of programming they can have. But to take it with a grain of salt, because that design may very well change over the course of the next 6 to 9 months as we bring on the official design architect of the center. Whoever gets selected may have their own interpretation of what it looks like, but those components will all be there.
So again, that downtown Boca Raton corridor at Meisner Park had this property that was unused, and Andrea's, from Boca, so she has this vision. She got things rolling, and she has this project coming, and it's going to take Boca Raton to the next level because all these cities in South Florida have a performance theater and Boca doesn't. And there's some major money in Boca. So I'm so happy for her, and hats off to her.
We are following along everything that's to come from the Center for Arts and Innovation. I just have to say, the next episode that really surprised me, the most innovative beauty treatments at What the Fish.
How do you ensure the safety and cleanliness of the What the Fish Lounge? What steps do you provide to customers?
The filtration system we have underneath every single tank, they're all independent. It's really above and beyond what's necessary for anything like this. It's a 1,060 gallon saltwater filtration system in a 30-gallon freshwater tank. So we have it pumping at about 500 or 600 gallons an hour. So it's basically running the entire 30-gallon contents through the entire filtration system every 2.5 minutes or so. And one of the stops along the way of the filtration, the last one, is a really high-power UV sterilizer light. So it just sterilizes anything that runs through it. So the water is sanitized basically 5 or 6 times just in the 20 minutes that you're having your treatment.
Oh my goodness. You had experienced What the Fish and then invited them on the show. Tell everybody, remind everybody.
I mean, I'm up for anything. I really am. I'll do anything, especially once. But when you get into that chair and you get these little fish like guppies, chomping at your dead skin on your feet, it's so it's just different. I don't know how to explain it. And again, to come up with a business concept like that, storefront, brick and mortar, and people just walking by, looking at you in the window, getting all this fish, eating your feet. It's very funny. It tickles. I will not lie. It tickles. You go numb after a minute, but it was great. I loved it. I would do it again.
Talking about experiences, we're both parents and we want our kids to experience the best in life. And 2 guests that really inspired us to inspire our children include Lauren Grebois Fisher of B Books. You mentioned to us before that you have some activities in the back.
I started out as board books. I started out geared for children my kids' ages. My kids were 2, 0 at the time, and 4, 2. As they were getting older, I realized, wait a minute, I'm a teacher. I want to provide parents with the tools that they don't have to find on their own or they don't have to come up with on their own. So every book has bonus pages, every single book that includes inspiration and discussion pages. So these are questions that tie into what you should be learning in the book.
And Susie Yaramillo, who is the founder of Encantos.
I want something that's accessible to moms, to second generation moms and first generation parents, that will make language learning fun and intuitive. And I want them to sing, all of the same songs that generations of Latinos have been singing for years. And so, honestly, we took a simple premise. It's not unlike what Disney did. You know how Disney took, IP that was sort of iconic from Western Europe, whether it was, The Little Mermaid or, Sleeping Beauty. We took iconic nursery rhymes from Latin America. Specifically, we started with one called Los Pollitos Dicen, right? And we took these adorable little pollitos and we made them stars.
And she also is the author of Skeletina, the In-Between World, and created a dream generator, like a dream catcher based on her own experience having nightmares as a kid. So we just really loved speaking with them. They both have such great literature, and I would say even their illustrations too. Fantastic books.
No, you have to, really look at these two women and say, wow, they wanted to inspire our children. And what a better human being than that to really take our children to a place that they could feel safe and understand. And both of them are incredible human beings.
So switching gears a little bit, we're taking you back to another conversation with Eliza Licht, the renowned brand consultant. What a queen. She really inspired our professional careers.
You mentioned DKY PR Girl. In 2009, in my traditional role at Donna Karan, we were sitting around a marketing meeting thinking about okay, maybe we should join this platform called Twitter that no one really knew what it did or what it was. And I was concerned that people would think that Donna Karan herself was tweeting because she's a person and also the brand, right? When we think about brand, it's like, okay, there's a founder who is with the same name. And I was like, you know what? Gossip Girl does it really well. And our legal team was like, great idea. Only you can have the login, Eliza. So I started tweeting, and I was a secret for almost 2 years. I mean, it led to everything. But I think the learning here is my identity was synonymous with where I worked. I'm trying to tell people, build equity in your own name, not just where you work. Because I had to do a whole rebrand after I left that company. Because what if you don't work there anymore?
Yeah, she really, she's brand driven. And throughout her career, she has proven that. What a force. And she definitely got me inspired.
I agree. She has such great recommendations, and I can't get enough of her. There's another artist on the scene who is making waves. She is based in Brooklyn, but she is everywhere. She's down in South Florida. She is getting in front of students, and that is the artist and photographer Lara Alcantara.
And was New York shut down when you did the shoot in Times Square?
So I'll tell you, it was President's Day of 2021. And that photograph was taken at 5:45 in the morning. And the funny story about this photograph, suddenly somebody comes up to us and says, what are you guys doing? And, I start telling him the story. I'm making these photographs about New York for Tory Burch Fellowship and blah, blah. And then suddenly he's like, well, I work for the New York Post. Is it okay if I take some photographs of you working? So that Friday, it came out in the New York Post. But those photographs were all about being strong and how New York always comes back.
Do you remember that incredible scene that she recreated during COVID in the middle of Times Square?
I do. She's not afraid, which I love. She takes risks, and her art is so powerful. If you really go behind and look at it, wow, look at what she created.
Each photograph tells a story and is so detailed as well. I just can't wait to see what is to come from Lara Alcantara. Oh, Colby, this interview blew me away. I am a big fan of this duo, and you know them personally, Jennifer Stano and Danielle Tortorello.
Do you want us to spill the beans on some of the actual people or
Up to you. You can spill the beans on some good people.
Peace, love, med spa.
So Peace Love Med Spa, wait, gotta be specific. Lindsay or Alana, and she does our lips and, for me, fillers. Botox is Dr. Farber, Scott Farber in Boca. Our eyebrows are microbladed. We both go to Sculpted by Robin, and she is amazing. Every girl goes to, and Guy, let me know. Everyone goes to Robin for eyebrows, shaping, or microblading.
And that's all in Boca so far, right?
This is all in Boca. Dr. George Dental. He's an amazing dentist. Yeah. We go to him for our cleanings. The place is immaculate, spotless. The staff is so nice.
We just started going to M Spa for hydrofacials.
Yep, they do our skin, our facials, literally an hour in and out.
Mask.
The Boca-based wives and moms who are super successful businesswomen influencing luxe living, fashion, beauty, wellness. I can't get enough of their feeds.
They really, I give them kudos. They left LA, they moved their family to Boca Raton, Delray Beach, and that's a huge move. And, they really have made a name here in South Florida. They are both gorgeous, beautiful women. And they also, again, that inspirational message that comes across from seeing them together. Their love, first of all, is beautiful. And they're just navigating through these waters and making the best of every day possible.
Yes, it was a fantastic episode. They really dished on all of their favorite places, from food to fashion and beauty. Wow. What a show.
It was.
Okay. My mouth is already watering thinking about this person's food company. Okay, Kristen Tomlin of Dough NYC, she came on the show talking all about her edible cookie dough. What about advice for aspiring foodie entrepreneurs?
Follow your gut. I think that, you're the one who has this vision for the concept or the idea, and so you know it best. I remember so many people telling me when I went from exclusively online to brick and mortar, they're like, you're making a terrible decision. Like, this is not what, the future is. And it was the best thing I ever did, because I was like, I feel it in my gut and in my soul that this needs to exist. And I'm so glad that I followed that.
She sent us samples. We had, oh my goodness, such a delicious experience trying out all of the different flavors. I mean, wow. Kristen Tomlin.
And she's an author, which is great.
Cookbook author and successful businesswoman. I mean, they got picked up by 16 Handles. So loved that show. Love having her cookie dough.
I got friends calling that they went out and they ordered the cookie dough, and they're still telling me how great it is, which it is. I'm still eating it. I take a little piece every night. Kristen, thank you so much again.
All right. So we're definitely switching gears now. And this episode definitely meant a lot to us both. It really inspired us. And that is the episode with Dana Arshan. Can you offer any advice for young professionals that are looking to make a meaningful impact in the fields of storytelling and education or media?
Yes. So I have a real, there are a lot of moms, and I hate to say that it's only moms, but it is, in the news industry, who have been reaching out to me because they've seen what I've done and they really want to be this full-time working professional, but they're struggling how to balance such a demanding career. I'm encouraging people to create your own positions, because my position didn't exist. I created it, right? I said, I want to be a storyteller. Here's what I'm going to bring to the table. Everyone has a social media platform. So my number one advice always is write up your dream job. And if it doesn't exist, create it. Someone will hire you. I don't know how long it will take or who it's going to be, but someone will see your passion and will hire you. I really believe that.
So Dana has become a dear friend of mine, but I met her when she was a reporter for Fox 5 New York. I mean, she went from news reporter to now storyteller for the Holocaust Tolerance Center in Long Island. She's doing an incredible job. I can't wait to hear all these stories that she is amassing and how she's going to deliver, like every story that she's delivering and sharing. It's unbelievable.
Especially with what's going on in the world right now, her job is so important to tell those stories. And I know I was touched. I know you were touched. Just a beautiful, beautiful person for what she does.
We will be following along all along on Dana Arshan's journey. And what about that flying trapeze? Okay, so getting into movement, because hey, what a nice segue. We could talk all about Ryan Beck. Oh, wow. What is the link between longevity and the quality of our lives?
If you think about it, we have this idea of lifespan. You know, I'm going to live for 80 years. But there's a new idea, which is health span, which is the number of years where you feel good, where you feel healthy, where you feel vibrant. And so when we focus our relationship to movement, not on something abusive, this idea that I have to punish my body, I have to whip or burn or torch or rip or shred or cut or smash or grind our bodies in the name of health, when we shift it to how do I move my body in such a way that I can increase the health span to the same length as my lifespan. You want to be able to move in a way that's pain-free, injury-free your entire life. Wouldn't that be amazing?
Amazing.
Ryan, we're still moving since your episode.
And also talking to us about, moving away from pain in the body, and that it really is possible. I am so inspired by this former dancer who is now teaching dozens of classes a week and inspiring people to move their bodies.
And your body, you really think about it. He was really telling us your body is telling you something. You need to listen. Don't mask it with something. Do something about it. And his message came across loud and clear.
Incredible. We had so much fun with David Yontef.
Which franchise should disappear?
I think Atlanta last season for the second year in a row was horrible. And although I do not think the OC is great, I think that has a lot of problems. I think Atlanta needs a complete reboot. I would fire everyone and start over. I think Kenya Moore is great. She is the Shade Assassin. She is brilliant. I just don't think it works to keep certain people. They tried that with New York and it didn't work. So I think Atlanta needs a complete reboot. I do like Candy and Kenya. I think they're two strongest players if they want to keep two, but I think they should. But I think Dubai could go and nobody would really care.
Oh boy, he is the host of Behind the Velvet Rope. He does a great job every day dropping an episode and dishing all about everybody on Bravo. Oh my gosh. We talked about the Bravo Reckoning, and fantastic conversation always with Mr. David Yontef.
Yeah, he's funny. I mean, Bravo is hot. If people want to deny that they watch Bravo, we all know you're watching Bravo. And David spills the tea on everything. He knows everything. He's friends with all of them. So the fact that we got him on our show talking and dishing the dirt, everything Housewives, everything Below Deck, you name it, Bravo, he knows it. Even other shows, Selling Sunset, Mauricio's show, David Yontef gives it. So thank you, David. We will be touching base definitely in the future.
We had so many amazing interviews this year. We talked with Sonia Howe of Sonia Howe Jewelry. We talked with parenting experts and educators. We spoke with Megan Wan of Port and Polish about her really chic pill boxes. There was so much that we covered this year. I mean, you were able to come to New York and speak to two of our amazing guests Cricket of Cricket's Candy Creation, and also Lindsay from the Craft Studio.
I will tell you, I took my kids to both of those places. My kids were wowed by both. And as an adult, I was wowed. They took it to a level that the adults could have fun also.
You're right. And if you're not able to travel and want some magic and mentalism, think about magic and mentalism with Mio.
I'll do something with you, Colby.
Okay. Serena.
I'm stunned.
Thank you so much. So to finish up, I have a prediction. And I made this prediction earlier this morning. At about the same time, I wrote down the pyramid. I took a card in my deck and I flipped it upside down, hoping for this moment. So Colby, without me influencing your choice, 53 choices in a deck. I want you to name any card that comes to mind right now.
4 of diamonds.
The 4 of diamonds. Can you guys see me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. As I go through my deck, you'll notice that all the cards are facing the same way, except one.
Oh, God.
A card that I placed upside down about a little while before we started.
Okay.
It's the 4 of diamonds. He picked the 4 of diamonds.
Oh, yeah.
The only
This
card
is
upside down in the deck.
Incredible. He did a live magic show for us and blew me away. Oh my goodness. I don't know how he does it.
Yeah, I mean, he did that for our audience, and I mean, I was like, whoa, it was really, really cool.
And when we talk about health, wellness, and food, there were 2 other episodes that do stand out. Louis Goldstein of Maine Crisp Company doing an incredible job with their buckwheat crisps, and also your friend Jeff of Raw Juice, the founder, talking all about raw juice and how it can change people's lives. Drinking it can change people's lives.
So true. And I would never think I would try any of those juices, and I have. And you know what? You feel that energy boost right away when you do take them.
Well, boosting energy is definitely something at the Buzz Agency because they are just driving awareness for so many great brands and people. So I think we need to also tilt our hats to the Buzz Agency ladies.
Yes. I first of all, I know them very well. I've known them 20 something years, and they are pushing the limits in PR down South Florida and everywhere else too. They go to Europe. They've been everywhere.
Well, I could definitely appreciate a great PR team.
Can we just talk about BB Desire, Brittany Martin?
Yes.
We spend so many hours in our month or in our week having different beauty professionals, right? So you have your brow girl, you have your hair person, you have your lash person, and we make all these different appointments to go to these different people who specialize in these different things because they're usually all spread out in a different place. And so the concept was to have one house where you could find your specialty in each different category, where you could just come and spend that moment and that day and live it up like VIP and get catered to and get all your services done one place, one time.
Wow. She brought the glam to the show.
The ultimate beauty, hair, everything experience when you go to her place of work. Right?
Exactly. Yes. And it's all very customized. She said that she clears the whole day and she treats her guests like stars and, gives them whatever they need. So, everybody's in good hands with BB Desire.
And then I will tell you, because he appeared, he appeared 3 times on our show, because I think we did once, then we did twice, and then we just did it again. So 3 times, I am right. The amazing tennis professional, Jason Zafiros.
When she was about 15 years old, which wasn't long ago, that was about 4 years ago before the pandemic,
I was traveling with some top players, and Coco lost a match. Girl was way behind her in the rankings. She must have had over 20 double faults. Okay. I go to dinner that night. This was a night match. We were in Mexico. It was about 8 o'clock. I go to dinner. I come back out. 2 hours later, she was still serving. And that kind of just gives you the mindset of, hey, you know what? I lost this match. I had a lot of double faults. I'm going to get myself right back to that practice court and compete and get my serve to where it needs to be. You fast forward 4 years, she won the US Open. So these things don't happen by accident. It takes a lot of talent, but that girl has the will to win.
Oh, yeah. Founder of Battle of Boca, works with Rick Macy, the legend. I mean, anything and everything having to do with tennis, I know we look to Jason. He really knows. I mean, he has incredible experience with the pros, with so many celebrity athletes. He knows what it takes, and he's always there. He's always working. This guy has incredible work ethic.
He does. He works 7 days a week. And I don't know if I told you, I brought my kids to him about 2 weeks ago, and my kids are in love with him. And he was so gracious. He was so kind to them. I mean, they think that they're definitely like pro. My kids think they are definitely going pro.
Well, those courts look fantastic, and I'm sure they're going to get a really good swing in. So thanks for coming on, Jason.
I am proud of him. I want to give him a plug. I think he had the biggest turnout for Battle of Boca last week. I think it was like 260 people, kids. I mean, that's huge for just, a city event. That's amazing on a weekend. So, Jason, props to you.
All right. So we really laughed our butts off with Rachel Sobel, the woman, the author, the funny person behind Wine and Cheez-Its.
Our parents really kind of had it easy in that way because, the only way to really get the news was to read the paper, and now it's
doing that. We didn't read papers. I didn't do that.
I didn't read the paper.
No. Well, I didn't read it either, but we had a paper on the dining room table.
Okay.
You're right.
But we were sheltered. And I'll tell you that watching this group, like my daughter and her peers, the way they talk about mental health is amazing. Like they understand.
That is a positive, I think. I'm also listening to what the researchers say about girls' brains and how they are so impressed by what they're seeing on social media.
Everything they read on TikTok is true. Everything. It's like, that's their CNN. TikTok is like their CNN. The news reports that I get, Mom, I saw this on TikTok and it is the stupidest thing I've ever heard. And I can't even believe I have to have a conversation to rectify it, but that is where they get their news. TikTok.
So she came to us live from her closet and, we got right into it. Just the realness of parenting. And, I follow her for a lot of humor, for that parent humor. And she was wonderful to be being on our show. We really loved that.
She's raw humor. And, in this day and age, you need raw humor like Rachel. Thank you, Rachel, for coming on our show. We definitely need to have you back on.
And keeping it delicious. Beth Lipton, recipe developer. I mean, she has incredible recipe repertoire. And we had a great time talking to her and giving us some good ideas for what's going to be for dinner tonight.
Definitely. She really is she has the knowledge and she's so precise with everything, which is great. People need that and easy. It's very easy. She actually sent me a recipe that was very, very good. So definitely follow Beth Lipton.
Yeah, I'm always just inspired to create these recipes. You're right. Simple, easy to follow, easy to find ingredients, and satisfying.
And last but not least, George Snow. We love George Snow. I mean, his heart is in it. To help these kids get scholarships to schools. He's a real blessing.
Yes. George really is changing kids' lives. He shared with us the process of applying for these scholarships and then also kind of what these scholarships are doing to change and turn around the lives of so many deserving kids.
Definitely. Well, Serena, I thank you for being my co-host, and I wish you and your family a happy and healthy new year.
Thank you so much.
I'm excited for 2024.
I definitely think there's so many memories to still be made right now. At the end of 2023, we've been memory making this entire year together and then keeping up with all of our family happenings. We absolutely love you and sending so much love, hugs and kisses to the fam.
Thank you. And if our audience has someone in particular they want us to interview and think it would be a great fit for the show, please write us, DM us. We will definitely consider it.
We'd love to hear from you anyway. Let us know how we're doing. And more to come. 2024, baby.